Dozens of people in a small Indiana town have developed breathing problems, and they're struggling to get answers as to why.
Yeah, the mystery illness does coincide with a heavy dust coming from a nearby industrial plant. ITM8's Richard Essex has been digging into the details. He joins us now with more. Richard?
Well, in the middle of December, the town of Bethany Park was covered with a gritty dust. A few weeks later, it happened again. The dust returned, and people started getting sick.
When Pam Mitchell goes outside, she is instantly surrounded by her two bulldogs. Her backyard is a little less crowded than it used to be. A few weeks ago, her third bulldog died from a mysterious respiratory illness.
Because she died pretty suddenly, and it was like she filled up with fluid.
In January, Mitchell was diagnosed with bronchitis.
I got bronchitis, got over it, got bronchitis again, got over it, went to the doctor both times, and then when I went to the last time, which was last month, she says pneumonia. So that's 3 episodes, and then all my grandkids have been sick with bronchitis, and my son-in-law and my daughter.
She still has a nasty, lingering cough. Mitchell isn't alone. Several of her neighbors have developed breathing issues.
What have I been sucking in my lungs?
Buford Meads lives just down the street from Mitchell. On January 6th, he says for the first time in his life, he was diagnosed with pneumonia. At the same time, his oldest daughter developed breathing issues.
So I went through almost a month and a half of having pneumonia and having x-rays done on my chest to find out what is going on with my lungs. So I mean, and pretty much with the whole town of Bethany, I mean, if you go down and talk to anybody down in town, everybody's been sick.
What is making everyone sick? Several people in Bethany Park have an idea. Arcosa Lightweight, just a half-mile down the road. Starting in late December of last year, dust escaped from the plant. This is video taken by William Kuykendall, the owner of Brickyard Import Car Parts. The dust covered hundreds of his cars. Kuykendall covered one of his cars with a tarp in an attempt to preserve the dust, and he collected some of that dust and sent it to a lab.
I know that it's 22% respiratory silica when it comes out. It's A-quart silica.
According to Arcosa's website, they make a special lightweight aggregate used in various forms of concrete. Part of the process involves superheating shale and clay to 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit in kilns. The emissions are captured in smokestacks or in special buildings. At least twice, the emissions collection system failed, sending dust into Bethany Park. The town of Bethany Park invited Arcosa representatives to their February 26 meeting. At the time, at least 2 town council members were sick, and people in the town wanted answers. ITM8 was given an audio recording of that meeting.
I got a quick question. What's in that?
What's the material?
Yeah.
So it's actually shale that's been mined out of the ground here, your natural shale, and then it's heated up.
At the meeting, Matt Hallmark, the vice president of engineering for Arcosa, said mechanical failures in their emission control system allowed dust to escape into the air. The company declined our invitation to speak on camera, but sent a statement to ITM8. Since we took over the plant in 2017, we have decreased the number of significant violations reported to IDEM, and we are talking with both IDEM and local residents. We're working with both the state and residents to mitigate any further releases of dust. We are not aware of any adverse health issues. Dr. Ryan Benty is a pulmonologist at Indiana University School of Medicine. He says there are reasons for concern both in the short term and years down the road.
And I think what you worry about too, though, is the asymptomatic, the people that are exposed now that aren't having symptoms. You know, they are probably still having low-grade exposure, and it can manifest much later in life. So there are people that probably could potentially have some lung disease that may result 10, 20, 30 years down the road that could have been related to this chronic dust exposure.
And the U.S. Department of Labor website says exposures to extremely high concentrations of inhalable crystalline silica can lead to severe disabling shortness of breath, weakness, weight loss, which could often lead to death. During the February Bethany Park meeting, the Arcosa representatives promised to keep lines of communication open with the town and assured the town council that repairs to the emission control system had been made. A few days after the meeting, there was a third occurrence.
That's how we knew this weekend we had another episode, because when we called to let him know, hey, we got dust again, he said, yes, we had another catastrophic event.
The Indiana Department of Environmental Management has inspected the facility and issued a letter of violation. The third dusting of Bethany Park is still under investigation. Everybody I talked to in Bethany Park is concerned about their health. They don't know at what level they've been exposed or the exposure will have on their long-term health consequences. And frankly, everyone I talk to says they're nervous and they're just a little bit worried. In the studio, Richard Essex, by Team 8.